Okay, folks, one final thing on this rock, paper, scissors. We need to get in the habit of validating our input, and that doesn't mean to make it have good feelings and say that it belongs and that it's special and all that. Let me show you. Go rock, computer chose paper, computer wins. What if I choose something that's weird, like 0? 0 versus 1. There's no condition for 0 versus 1. I'm going to run it again. I'm going to choose 10 and versus 1. So yeah, I don't have anything in here that takes care of that. So first thing I want to do is have a final condition that says else console.write line something bad happened, illegal choice made. Okay, so let's run it. And I'm gonna go 1 or 10 and 1. I'm gonna run it again and go -3 and 1, and it works. Okay, now 0. Yeah, this works. Okay, but remember, what is this else attached to? It's just attached to the final if. Okay, and in this program it works, but there will come programs someday where this doesn't work. Okay, that your ifs that you should have connected them all. Okay, meaning that only one thing could happen. There shouldn't be any possibility that player chose paper and computer chose rock, and player chose rock and computer chose scissors. Two of these shouldn't happen at the same time. So how do I connect them all? With else's. Okay, remember they can't all be else's. Run it now, gibberish. Okay, and it crashes. Now, the crash will fix in a second. Let's go 54. Something bad happened. Okay, and -10. Something bad happened. Okay, so we take care of illegal choices down here. But rather than just take care of illegal choices down here, let's make the game more robust, more flexible, less rigid. It shouldn't just go down there and say, oops, something bad happened. It should make the user give me something good. Okay, so luckily there's no loops in my program yet, so it's just going to be one single loop. Okay, where am I going to loop, and what kind of loop am I going to choose? Okay, so I got all these variables declared up here, and I get the user's input right here, so that's a candidate for a loop. And the question is, what type of loop? I'm going to space this out a bit. The question is, what type of loop am I going to make? Am I going to do a for loop? And we kind of forgot what those look like in C#. They're kind of weird. But yeah, it's not going to be a for loop. If I wanted to ask something exactly 10 times, or draw 5 lines exactly 5 times, I would use a for loop. If I don't know how many times they're going to give me bad input, it could be 0, it could be 100. I'm going to use the other type of loop we usually care about, a while loop. Okay, so while, and I could do some condition here, but if I don't know my condition right off the bat, I'm just going to do while true. Okay, and I want to keep asking them for rock, paper, scissors. I'm going to force my autocomplete to look like I want it to. I'm going to hit enter there. And right now what this is going to do is choose a number, choose a number, choose a number. And it doesn't force them to have good input, it just keeps asking them for input. Okay, so remember, if I have a while true loop, if I decide to go that route, there's only one way out, and I could break right here, right? So what does this do? It went from an infinite loop to a one-time loop. I only choose one thing. It does this line, then this line, and then I break out of the loop, and it takes me out of these parentheses to the back to the main program. There's like curly braces out to the main program. So I didn't want to break automatically. I wanted to only break if, and let's put this in pseudocode, if they give me valid input, then break. Okay, and let's go see what that looks like. If they give me valid input, okay, if their input was between, what are my choices? Oh, 1, 2, and 3. Between 1, 2, and 3. Okay, then break. So you should be able to do this. Go ahead and pause the darn video and see if you can get it that their input was valid. If their input is valid, then break. Okay, so remember that after an if I type the F in if, or type if, it should give me a hint of what ifs look like. Let's see, there we go. Oh, some expression, some comparison, then do some statement. Okay, so if some comparison, then break out of the loop. Okay, if what does valid input look like? Okay, what's the variable we're looking at? Oh, it's human choice. If human choice And there's a few ways to do this. What's one valid input? Well, it's if the choice equals 1. Or, and there's no or in C#. It's double bar above enter or below backspace, shift backslash. Or human choice equals 2. Or human, I should start hitting tab so I don't have to type it. If it's one of those three choices, then break. Let's try it. 5, 100, negative 100, 0, 9, and 1. We're out of the loop, and we can finish off our rock, paper, scissors game. Okay. This works. Can you also do it with, well, actually, before we do it with the range of numbers, let's see, what should I put here? Console.write line. What's the only way we got here? Okay, so we did this, we checked this. If it was true, then we break. If it was not true, I could put an else here, but I'm not going to put an else here because I don't need it. I only get to this line if we didn't break. And that means if we didn't break, then there was invalid input. 1, 2, or 3 only. Please, no bomb or Spock allowed here. Okay, so I have to choose 1, 2, or 3. Gibberish, gibberish. And now can I put other words in? No, I can't. Okay, so I fixed the invalid input for numbers, but when I put in words, it still crashes. And you can see right here, where does it crash? On the parse int. It says input string was not in correct format. When I tried to parse or cast, I can't cast Bob or Stas to an integer. So this right here crashed my program. Later on, we're going to learn about a thing called try. It's a command called try that tries certain blocks of code, and if it works, great, and if it doesn't, we're going to do something else. Okay, it's kind of like an if-else, but yeah, it'll handle crashes better. Okay, so if they gave me valid input, then break, and where the heck did my, oh, it's right there. And if it was invalid input, tell them. Okay, so that fixes all that. Let's go see, and I could do an else. Let's do an else for those that need it. And let's fix this. Okay, so I could choose one of three choices, but how can I do it with just typing, less typing, or a different way to do it? If human choice is, well, equal to 1, let's do a range of numbers. Anything greater than 0 is okay. Greater than 0. And is this going to be an or or an and? Let's put a question marks for now. Human choice, what's my max? Is less than 4. And I really don't like greater than 0 or less than 4s, because what if I was asking for floats for some reason? I should just say greater than or equal to 1, my exact number, and less than or equal to 3, my exact number. Now, is it greater than 1 and less than 3, or greater than 1 or less than 3? Okay, let's try it like I always do, the wrong way, and I'm going to choose negative 10. Something bad happened. And again, I'm going to choose 100. Something bad happened. Okay. Is 100 greater than 1? That's true. Is 100 less than 3? That's false. So I have true on this side. So I'll plug in 100. We'll do it the long way. 100 here and 100 here. Just pretend I typed in 100. 100 greater than or equal to 1? Oh, that's true. 100 less than or equal to 3? That's false. How does an or spit out a true? If just one side is true. Okay, so I didn't want an or. Another way to look at this is that I want to be more or less flexible, more or less easy to get a true out. I want it to be harder to get a true, because there's only 3 possible choices, so I generally need an and in those cases. Okay, human choice is greater than or equal to 1, and human choice less than 3. Could I do it with not equals? Yeah, I could have done it here. While human choice is not equal, but I'm not going to do that because it's just a waste of time for now. Okay, so we're done with this. I think we've kind of solved enough of the problems. I'll scroll down through it one more time. We make some variables. These are enums, or variables that actually work as numbers. They're not official enums. They're faked. We get one from the player, just a number, 1, 2, or 3. We cast it right here. We have a while loop that traps them as long as their input's invalid. And we break out if they're If their input was out, we break out of the loop. And then we do the computer. The computer will never give me problems. It'll always be 1, 2, or 3. And then we check all the cases. There's probably different ways you could check all the cases. You could print out the thing they chose, like if human choice equals 1, print human chose rock. But I think it's easiest to do it this way, so I only have to have 7 ifs or else ifs or else's. Okay. All right. Let me know if you have any problems, if you get stuck, and we'll see you in the next solution, next game.